Hi, my name is Jeff Blocker, and I'm part of our solution engineering team with the Oracle Marketing Cloud. I want to thank you for the time today to watch a short video of how Infinity Streams can actually enhance your marketing treatments, particularly around abandoned events, browse events, and just stitching the general customer together through known identifiers. So today what I'm going to talk through is really harnessing the signals, so really getting to the why behind your guest data to really find that remarkable moment as to when to actually message your customers. So today we're going to focus on two events, mainly the first one around planning an event and then an abandoned reservation. So what I'm going to show you is just the general data capture, the visitor identification, and then also just the different areas where you have the ability to trigger an actual event. So to get things started, I'm going to jump into Responsys Interact and just show you a program here that we've set up, which is connected to Infinity Streams, basically checking for reservation abandonments. So this single event is going to capture data across the customer journey, and we're going to be able to use this data within program via entry tracking variables to disseminate if it's a parties and events abandonment versus just a general reserving a bay or just a catch-all. So when you're in production, you would have the ability to do all of this in dynamic content, but for demo's sake, I'm going to show you how to segment this out, again, using entry tracking variables within program. So let's jump into Infinity Streams and mainly going through your website. So the first thing that we wanted to touch on was solving for the fact where identifying someone that's not logged into your website. Within Responsys, you do have the ability to append external tracking parameters, which once defined at the account level, can be automatically appended to every link within your email sends. So what you're seeing here is I'm simulating this by attaching the Responsys ID, which is mapped to my ID back on the contacts list. But this could be any identifier that you have as part of your data model. Email, the hashed email address would most likely be the most common element to use here, but the Responsys ID also uses. So what I'm doing here is basically going to your home page, and now what you're going to see with the new event that just popped up is that the Responsys ID is actually being carried through within the data model or within the Infinity Stream. So the first thing we're going to go to is actually planning a party and event. So as I click through here, again, noticing on the right that the RID is gone from the query string on the top, but when I look at my headers down here, it's still populated. So what this is going to be able to give you the ability to do is not only track an anonymous browser across your site and your different pages, but it's also going to allow us to track cross-domain tracking. So once somebody actually does enter your reservation portal, we're still going to be able to capture that journey and report that data back into Responsys. So let's continue with planning my event here. So again, like I stated before, Infinity Streams is set up and flexible enough for you to customize the experience, again, for you to find that appropriate moment when you want to message this customer. So in this case, the first thing we want to try to identify is what's the location they want to have this event. So me being from Chicago, I'm going to select Schaumburg. So when I go into the Schaumburg path or the reservation path, I can actually start booking through my reservation information. So again, I know the location where I want to have this event, and at this point, I can actually start booking. So theoretically, this is typically where you may want to trigger an event should they not complete this page. Now let's go back into program and see what we have. So when I jump into the program here on the Analyze tab, what you're seeing here is basically all my events that are coming in into the event portal here. Now, to take this a step further, just to look at the actual enactment table behind the scenes that's happening within program, you could see the additional external tracking parameters that I've collected here. So I have my page title and then my page URI, which this is ultimately what I'm using to route the records in program. So I'm differentiating between parties and events as well as just reserving a bay. Now let's just say, for instance, that I didn't add my location, But you'll notice that I also added a GeoCity. So these are enhanced variables that Infinity Streams could add to the customer journey based on the IP address that they're logged in. So theoretically, within your abandoned campaign, if I clicked into that top funnel of reserving an event, I could actually infer which location they want and then possibly be a little more predictive in my message treatments. Okay, so let's go into just reserving a general bay. So if I go into the play menu here and then just go into my reserve a bay. So this again, similar journey, but at this point, I'm going down to the first step here to look for which venue I'm looking to make a reservation. So again, clicking into reservations, you'll notice again that my responses ID is still being persisted throughout here. And again, once I get into your reservation portal, I'm going to be able to still cross-domain check the reservation here. And again, our ID is still populated. So now going back into the program, let's just refresh this. And now you can see my reserve a bay events are starting to flow through. Now again, when you're in production here, you may not need to differentiate the different reservation type with the data switch, as this can all be handled in dynamic content. But this also can be a good tool when you're introducing throw and catch, or if a specific location or possibly maybe a specific event needs a different type of prioritized content within your campaign. So again, ultimate flexibility is the key here with Infinity Streams, coupled with responses to really make the customer experience more enhanced. Thanks for the time and hope to see you again.